looking at a very unique looking AK in this episode of Airsoftology Reviews. So there are a ton of AKs on the market, and if you guys have been playing Airsoft recently, you know AKs have kind of had a renaissance. They're coming back. And this one will definitely let you stick out from the crowd because it looks a little different than your average AK, and it's the JG AS74U. So before we get to the externals, we're gonna talk about what you get in the box because you get a ton of stuff. This is a complete kit. You not only get the gun, but you also get a foregrip, a polymer foregrip. You get a 600 round high capacity magazine. You get a battery, it's 8.4. You get a regular wall charger, so just your standard type, as well as a cleaning and unjamming rod and a small pack of BBs to get you going. So now on to the externals. I mean, this is a full metal gun. When JG says you're getting a full metal gun, it's it. What's not full metal, this is the easiest thing I'm gonna tell you here, is your saw grip, saw style grip right here in the back, which is kind of contractor style, and your polymer foregrip. That's it. Oh yeah, and the flash hider. Everything else is metal. And don't let the metal fool you. You'd think that this thing's gonna be super heavy, especially that really long rail here on the front, but actually no, it's surprisingly light. I mean, one-handed, this thing's lighter than a lot of polymer AGs, but still built really well. So starting with the actual grip itself, it's a little strange. It's one of those AK side mount grips. So if you see you gotta actually mount it to the side of your rail, I kind of wish they would have put a standard rail on here. I get why they did this because otherwise with mag changes on AK, this thing rocks forward and with an offset, you're not gonna be blocking it. So you can move this grip all the way up to the side, have it really close if that's the way you like to run it, and still be able to pull off those AK mag loads and reloads. But it does look a little different, but I do like what they did. So moving from the back forward on the build itself, you get a full metal stock. It actually folds to the side and clips over here. So if you do want something a little shorter, you can kind of swing it around and still have a little bit more CQB. I mean, this is a longer gun, but it does bring it down in size, so it's very manageable if you want to play a little tighter quarters. On top, you do get this rail system, which I love. Most AKs are lacking. You have to deal with the side mount, which this one does have a side mount, although it's going to be unusable with this rail, but you're never going to use it because you do get this great rail. You get a built-in rear sight here with windage adjustments. You can use the dial to move it left and right. 2 apertures, a large one, and then a small one for finer shooting. And of course, like I said, this great rail space here on to put optics or whatever you like. What I also like about this is they use a screw here. So when you're putting the dust cover on, this component here is removable to access the battery. It lines up perfectly. If you guys have owned AKs, you know how hard it is to get these things lined up and on this little back switch. This one goes on great, and I love that they did that. Moving on to the front, huge gas tube here on top, nice and clean. Front sight post here, real easy to use, M4 style sights there. Full metal rail here, left, right, and bottom, and you get a ton of rail space from here all the way up to here. If you can't, I mean, if you run out of space, something is wrong. You can put lights, lasers, thermonuclear detonators, whatever you want on here and still have a ton of space left over. And the rail is made really well with all the extra holes, like I said earlier, to bring that weight down. Moving to the body itself, you're looking at a pretty standard AK build. Fire selectors here on the side. You do get electric blowback, which is a nice touch. And then I said you get that 600 round high capacity magazine with that winding tool, which is also great. Oh yeah, even the mag's metal. Rounding out the externals, you do get a sling attachment point here in the back. Although I've used these before, I wouldn't trust it too much. I wouldn't go like crazy with it, but it will work pretty well for most of your sling. Although there is no attachment point in the front. So you'll need to pick something up, maybe a little ring, put it through one of these holes here in the bottom or something to attach to the rails. And then of course on the end, you do get that flash hider. It is 24mm positive, so it's gonna be your AK threads. Shouldn't be any issue finding if you wanna add a suppressor or something like that, or change out the flash hider. Should be no problem tracking them down in that thread size. Moving internally, we're talking about that blowback system, which is nice. A little crisp metal click with every single shot. It is a JG built in there, so you're gonna get a pretty good amount of power to move the BB down the barrel. Full metal mech box, everything you expect out of a solid, really good AK build, including a pretty decently torquey motor to kind of keep the BBs moving. And to round out the internals, you do have an inner barrel. It runs all the way to here, the very end of this orange tip before it opens up. So keep that in mind. If you plan on replacing this, something shorter is not gonna work out for you as the metal inner barrel is gonna be exposed. So you're gonna make sure you're using something all the way out to here if you plan on doing something along those lines, or just add one of those barrel extensions like a mock suppressor or something like that. Also inside, you do have tons of battery space. Like I said, you get that 8.4 battery included. Honestly, with 8.4s, you're gonna want something a little more powerful to move this thing. I would probably move up to a 9.6. With a little finagling, you have to twist it the right way, will fit right in this front tube because this front gas tube is a lot bigger. So you ultimately have this entire space to jam a battery. So you can really run it all the way from here, all the way back, most likely right up here to where the fluting starts. So taking outside of the chrono, saw like the lower teens because you're running an 8.4 battery, the stock one. Like I said, go ahead and replace that. You're gonna want a 9.6 or a little bit better to make this thing going. Even recommend like a 7.4 LiPo would be perfect for inside of here to get you a little boost in that rate of fire. Also, feet per second was nice. This is definitely your outdoor scrimmage gun. You're looking at the high 300s, around 380 to 390 feet per second. So this may or may not be CQB legal, but when you're buying a gun this long, you definitely are looking at something more like a field gun. So it would be perfect for outdoor or scrimmage play, or if you want to play kind of that contractor loadout with the AK, great for milsim as well. So if you've been looking for an AK and you wanted something just a little different, not full contractor, but something to stand out from the crowd, definitely take a look at the JG AS74U, especially if you want a ton of rail space. Between the top rail and the side and front rails, you get all the rail space you'll ever need. And you can pick this up for right in the low 200s, and I'll have a link if you guys want to check out a little bit more in detail right below this video. Hey guys and gals, thanks a bunch for watching this video. If you enjoyed what you saw and you're not a subscriber yet, hit that subscribe button. I would love to have you here in the Airsoftology family. Also, if you're looking for another video just like this one, click the video to the bottom over there on your right-hand side. And if you guys like surprises, click the top video up there. It's going to take you to a random video from the channel. And as always, I want to hear from you guys, so make sure to comment below in the section and press that like button. And if you really liked it, hit that share button over on your favorite social media platform. Pew, 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 pew. Pew, pew, pew. Call your hits, camera.